guys, we're going to talk about the next available unit rule, the 140% rule, same thing, or a unit going over the 140% income limit at recertification. So one thing to note is that whether you are a mixed project or a 100% project, residents' income can go up. We want them to improve themselves. We want them to get better jobs. So when somebody's income goes above the 140% income limit, it is a good thing. Causes us a little bit more work sometimes, but it is a good thing. Do not evict them for this cause. When a household, a tax credit household, initially qualifies at move-in, and then at recertification, we're talking a year later, we find that their income has increased substantially and has gone above the 140%. There are some rules that go into effect that we have to follow. First of all, for the unit to continue to be counted as a qualified household, it needs to initially have qualified. Very important. And second, the income has to go above 140% for all of this to go into play. So when it does happen, for the unit to be continued to be counted as a tax credit unit, the rent has to remain restricted. You cannot increase the rent. And think of this unit as it's on notification. It's flashing at you saying, hey, you need to pay attention here. When a unit goes over the 140% and you are in a mixed project, you need to look at that building and ask yourself, especially when there is a move out, the unit that is over the 140%, say it's a 2-bedroom. Any 2 bedrooms, any square footage that's the same as that 2-bedroom, any 1 bedrooms and any square footage that's less than that unit that's over income or over the 140%, if any of those units become vacant, they must be rented to a tax credit household, and then the applicable fraction calculations done until the applicable fraction for the building is met without the unit that has gone over income. Once your applicable fraction is met for the building without counting this unit that has gone over the 140%, this over income unit becomes market. Then you can raise it up, you could raise the rent to market rate or whatever your other market units are. But this over income, the 140% unit, will no longer count towards your tax credit units. Now again, this is a building rule. It must be done, calculated, looked at on a building by building basis. And once a unit goes over 140%, any unit that becomes available that is comparable square footage or smaller bedroom size, so square footage and bedroom size, you need to be looking at those and renting those to tax credit qualified households until your applicable fraction is met for that building without counting your unit that has gone over 140%. So say that we mess up and say that we accidentally rent, say this is a 2-bedroom unit, and say that we accidentally rent a 1-bedroom that comes available to a market household. What happens? Any units in that building that are over the 140% automatically cease to be counted as a tax credit unit. So your applicable fraction, if you've got a lot of units that are over the 140% and you accidentally rent a unit to a market household instead of a tax credit household, it messes up your applicable fraction.